Chat, my Pickems are you know why? So my Pickems, I got 6 plus 20. G2 and DK didn't make it. We'll have a moment of silence for G2 and DK. 07 G2 and DK. Now you gotta go to your Pickems and pick the quarterfinals winners. This is a big one. This is an easy one. Because you just have to click 4 buttons. So don't forget to do your Pickems. YouTube Frogs, this is to you as well. LNG versus Weibo. This is really hard to predict. The reason this is hard to predict, the easy option is LNG. Okay? The safest option is LNG. Now, LNG and Weibo played against each other twice recently in LPL summer playoffs and the regionals. They played against them in the playoffs and lost LNG in a 5-game series. But then they went into the regionals and 3-0'd them. And LNG is looking good. And this 3-0 was a monster stomp. However, the only point of analysis I'll give you for this 3-0 stomp is that in this 3-0 stomp, Zika completely gapped Breathe. Okay? The top gap was crazy. Breathe has been playing really well at this tournament. He's been getting much better than what he was in the regionals. So they could be a bit more competitive. However, I do think the best option is still LNG. So I would go LNG if I was you. Weibo's a team that on one day could win Worlds and another day could lose to fucking FlyQuest or some shit. Or anyone. Alright, Hamalife versus Bilibili. This is the hardest matchup to predict. You've got the #1 team from LCK versus the #1 team from the LPL. This is impossible to predict. BLG's form is looking weak at Worlds, but they're growing. And they're learning a lot. Because they played more games in NHLE, so there's more evidence to show that BLG has been getting better. But Hamalife just kind of went 3-1. They only lost to Gen G. However, I would predict Hamalife to win that. I would personally predict Hamalife to win that. It's up to you. I think both are correct. They both have 2 of the best AD carries in the world, Viper versus Elk. If you're going to watch Worlds 2024 and you're only like, maybe you're a T1 fan, maybe you're a Gen G fan, I recommend if you're a League of Legends fan, Hamalife versus BLG is going to be the best series. This could possibly be the best series of Worlds. Small chance this could be a 5-game crazy series. This could be the best series of the whole tournament. So if you want to see the craziest team fights and shit, this is where it's at. Hamalife's a clutch team. BLG, On's looking inconsistent. Bin will have Jackspan against him. And Elk is looking crazy good. I would say Hamalife wins though. T1 versus Top Esports. We already saw this matchup. We already saw this matchup a lot. They played against each other. They played against each other many times. You'll remember T1 actually lost against them in the best of 1. T1 in that game, they had a really good early game. They kind of, if you remember the static Shiv incident, Jackie Love got a quadra kill at the blue buff fight. T1 kind of threw their early game lead. They had a pretty strong early game lead. They were up like 3k in 13 minutes, and they lost. I would still personally predict T1 to win this. They play against each other at EWC. T1 beat them. They play against each other at MSI as well. So EWC, they beat them in a 4-game series in spring. I don't think they did play against each other at MSI. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, Top Esports lost to G2 at MSI. I would predict T1 to win. I feel like T1 Worlds buff is undeniable. The easiest prediction from me is Gen G versus FlyQuest. I think Gen G will... I mean, even Papa Smithy, I was talking to him yesterday in the studio. And the one team he didn't want to draw was Gen G. And they drew Gen G. So I think, yeah, that was the one team they didn't want to draw. I feel like Gen G is really reliable. Really reliable pick here. I don't want to say I've got all 4 correct. I feel like the 2 easiest matchups, not easiest. The easiest matchup to predict, I think, is Gen G FlyQuest. The second easiest matchup to predict is probably LNG Weibo. I feel like LNG is just a better version of Weibo. T1 Top Esports. Top Esports have been looking good, but I do think T1 will win. T1's going into Worlds pretty well. And Hamalife BLG is the hardest. I think there's a right answer here for both. Easy. I also think there's kind of a right answer here for both too. But I think T1 is just a different team at Worlds. So these are my pickems for the quarterfinals of Worlds. LNG, Hamalife, T1, and Gen G. Hopefully I get them right this time. Listen, I know some of the Crystal Ball ones. These ones are RNG. If you ever want to check out your pickems, you can go to dpm.lol and just click pickem. And it'll tell you. So right now, my Drake one, I'm kind of cooked. Baron steals, I put 3 to 5. I'm on 3 right now. Longest game, 45 to 50. We're kind of there. Pentakills at Worlds, I put 3. There's none. Reverse sweeps, I put 0. But there's no best of 5s yet. So the best of 5s are going to start now. Played in different roles, I put Poppy. Poppy is #1, 3. And there will be no champ that gets played in 4 roles. I'm sure of it. Unless Smolder goes support or some shit jungle. I doubt it. That's pretty locked. I put most picked Cassante. He's not being the most picked. Right now, Rel is the most picked with the most deaths. Rel is looking like the winner if you got that. Most banned is currently... I put Skarner. It's currently Aurora. I think that's going to stay around the same. I don't know if you... Do you get points for having it like close? I don't know. And champion with the most win rate. I don't know why I put Mordekaiser. That was so fucking int. Right now, it's Sylas. Maybe Yone will take the spot if Silas gets played more. It's only got a few games, I think, Silas. Most played champs is currently Kingen. I put Zeus, but this is one it's really hard right now. You can't really predict who's winning that right now because there's more games. There's loads more games. Most kills in a single game. I already lost. It was Pays. Aiming got knocked out. I trolled. Highest KDA, I put Chovy. He's third right now. Not bad. Most first blood kills. Again, you can't really... Oh my god, I picked Wei. They subbed him out! They subbed him out! Oh my god. And I put Pentakill at Worlds. I put Supa for play-ins. I griefed it. Which minor region team got the furthest? This is correct. If you put PSG or GAM, you're correct. Because PSG and GAM got both knocked out in the same stage. Who would win the shortest game at Worlds? I put BLG. Right now it's mad for some reason. They got a 2058 game. I actually don't think that's going to get broken. Team in the most Baron steals, I put T1 because they have 2 junglers on their team. Right now, T1 is tied first. We'll see if there's more. World's winner, I put DK. It was out of love. It wasn't out of brain. So if you put DK and you copied me there, you're fucking dumb. Because I remember saying I did this because I love DK. Most unique champions also is very hard. It's Pain Gaming, the Brazilian team right now. But they have probably the highest games played, I presume. Because they played in play-ins. Another play-ins team is here. So this one, we'll see. I think it's probably the team that gets the furthest in the tournament as well. So that's the current Pickems update. For Swiss, I got 6 out of 8. G2... I feel like the Swiss one is really hard to get 8 out of 8. Getting 8 out of 8 is impossible. I'd be surprised. If you have 8 out of 8, you're a genius. Because it's so hard to predict. It's so hard to predict. How many points do I have total? I'm in the top 20%. I have 82 points. Oh wait, top 5% is 110 points. But I'm convinced I got some right already. So I think I might go up to S. Maybe. Also, if for your interest... Perfect Pickems, no one has perfect picks. No one in the entire world. Out of millions of choices, no one has perfect Pickems. The second FlyQuest made it into the Swiss stage. All of the Pickems things disappeared. I think there's a thread about it somewhere. Anyway, those are my Pickems. Just to recap real quick. I put LNG, Hammerlife, T1, and Genji. What would you tell yourself in the past before Worlds? What for these Pickems? I mean, obviously, I would tell myself that Rel is going to die the most and be picked the most. And... Damon's gonna get knocked out. If I knew those 2 things, I would have pretty perfect Pickems right now. Because I remember when I was doing my Swiss stage, I was gonna put G2 in FlyQuest. I would have removed Damon with FlyQuest. I remember saying, I think it's safe to put 2 Western teams on the Pickems. It might actually work. But yeah, it was only 1.